Good evening and welcome to the Beaufort County Democratic Party's Summer 2025 listening sessions, a series of virtual roundtables intended to amplify the voices of our diverse communities. Tonight, we are honored to welcome a panel of Beaufort County's esteemed local faith leaders. My name is Kathleen Hughes, and I serve as chair of the Beaufort County Democratic Party. South Carolina, and particularly Beaufort County, now plays a significant role in national and state political discussions. Due to South Carolina's early primary status, presidential hopefuls are already visiting, and national medias are in our state attending political events and discussing the needs, hopes, and concerns of our local voters. Additionally, Beaufort County voters are crucial to winning Congressional District 1, which is a competitive district here that is drawing national attention. This political prominence makes you, the voters of Beaufort County, very important people. Through your voices and personal stories, local and federal candidates will gain a better understanding of the needs of our communities. The listening sessions will be recorded and posted to our YouTube channel, promoted through social media, and shared directly with candidates. So let's get started. I would like to introduce our moderator, Julie Rayno. Julie will lead panelists through a series of questions intended to highlight the concerns and needs of Beaufort County's faith leaders and their congregations in this moment. Couple quick points. The questions are nonpartisan and were provided to our panelists in advance. Appearances by panelists do not imply any partisan endorsement. Panelists, please keep your responses to 3 minutes so that everybody has an equal opportunity to speak. And finally, to our viewers who are not panelists, please remain muted at all times. If you would like to submit questions for our panelists, please do so through the chat box. And if we have time at the end of our program, Julie will address one or two questions. Okay, well, thank you once again. And with that, I turn this evening's discussion over to Julie Rayno and our esteemed panel. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you, Julia, for being behind the scenes to keep everything running. I am so happy to be able to be here as a moderator tonight, as a woman who's been ordained in the Lutheran Church for 30 years. I join our faith leaders in an understanding of the power of the church to create transformation in our communities. And so I am really looking forward to the stories that we're able to share with each other and with the communities that we represent tonight. So I'd like to welcome our panelists and thank them, each of you, for attending. What I will do is I will read a question and then I will call on one of our panelists to answer that question. Each of the panelists will have an opportunity to answer that same question. Please keep your remarks to 3 minutes so that our program will last until about 8 o'clock and 8:15 for a few other considerations. So to begin, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your church and the congregation community you serve. Pastor Wilson, if you might begin, please, to respond to that lead.
Hello, my name is Pastor Frederick Wilson. I serve as the pastor of historic Campbell Chapel AME Church, located in downtown Bluffton, South Carolina, in the Old Town Bluffton section. Our church is 151 years old. We are a predominantly Black church, and our vision is to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of our world. I am new to the area. I was recently assigned in November of last year, and we're looking forward to working with other partners like you to help make our community a more just and equitable place for all of God's children.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And welcome since November. All right. And Rabbi Bloom, please, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and your congregation and the community that you're serving.
Sure. Greetings to everyone. I'm Rabbi Brad Bloom from Congregation Beth Yam, which means house by the sea on Hilton Head Island. I have been there coming up on my 18th year, and I'm not a native South Carolinian, but I came here from California, which means I'm really interfaith. And so I am devoted to a congregation that is interested in promoting Jewish life, Jewish values, and Jewish community under the banner of belief in one God. Our congregation extends from Hilton Head to Okatee in terms of capturing different people's interests and Jewish people that come to us. So that is basically the purpose of the congregation. We study, we learn, we care, we share, and we promote social justice and make a difference in people's lives to the extent that we can and do.
Okay, thank you very much, Rabbi Bloom. Thank you. If we could turn to Pastor June.
Yeah, hi. June Wilkins, and I'm the pastor at Christ Lutheran Church, which is Mid-Island on Hilton Head, and I've been there for 4 years. Our congregation is dedicated to serving people in different ways. We have a food pantry. We have a little food pantry. We serve the community in those ways, and we also serve the community in ways of justice. And our mission statement is reflect the love of Christ, embrace diversity, and serve Hilton Head.
Okay, thank you, Pastor June. Pastor Nathan, would you please tell us about yourself and your faith community as well? Pastor Nathan?
Yes. Thank you. Since last October, I've been the minister for the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Beaufort. That's a community of about 75 members on Sam's Point Road on Ladies Island. It was founded in 1999, 26 years ago. And as a Unitarian Universalist congregation, that means it is not based on a creed or a set of theological beliefs, but on shared values, including values such as love and justice and equity and interdependence. And it's very engaged in the wider community. We engage with a food pantry, we host a PFLAG chapter, we're supportive of the youth of DALO, in the Beaufort Community Partnership, and engaged with a lot of other nonprofit organizations as well.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, let's move to our second question. What do you perceive to be the greatest needs or concerns of your congregation and of the communities in which they live and work? And if we could, please, we'll ask Pastor June to respond to that question first.
I believe that I think that the biggest concerns right now for our congregation are those that are in poverty. And I mean, that would always be a concern, but there's a real concern about that right now because of the current administration and the cuts that have been made. There's also a great concern for our immigrant neighbors, which we have next door to us. And those have always been an underlying concern, no matter what the administration is. But because of the administration right now, those are great concerns to us at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much, Pastor June. So let's turn now to Rabbi Bloom. Rabbi Bloom, what are your congregation's greatest concerns at this point?
Well, I think that they are both extended to the community at large. For example, we believe in an idea that everyone has a right to be in this community and to be feeling safe in this community. Some years ago, we formed an organization called Low Country Coalition Against Hate, when we had a neo-Nazi run for mayor of Hilton Head. Those kinds of issues play heavily on us as a Jewish community. Feeling safe is a secondary issue, but definitely one that we are contending with, even in Beaufort County, in terms of feeling that we can go and worship in peace and in safety and security. When it comes to issues like feeding the poor, and an organization that we started called Backpack Buddies, feeding the poor, and our people are involved in any number of social justice and other issues throughout the community, and wanting to feel like we can participate like any Christian church does, unfettered from discrimination, and feeling like we can be partners with everyone in the community at large. So I think that our people both look inwardly in terms of feeling safe and extend outwardly to being full partners to everyone and wanting to be involved with everyone in the community in terms of each person's interest in making a difference in our community at large.
Okay, thank you very much, Rabbi Bloom. Pastor Nate, if you could respond to that, what are the greatest concerns and needs of your congregation at this point?
Well, there's certainly the economic needs, needs around housing, rent, utilities, food, healthcare, and increasing concerns about healthcare in particular. There's also concern about climate change and how it's going to impact our whole community going forward. And one example of that at the church level is that we're seeing insurance coverage costs go up, but coverage go down. And I think this is going to be something that will be an increasing issue over time. But probably the biggest is the very serious concern about the political climate and the dangers to a lot of people, to immigrants, to the LGBTQ community, and potentially to all of us. It's there's commitment to building a community of mutual care and healthy activism to get through this time, but there's a lot of concern about the times that we're in.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Pastor Nate. Pastor Fedrick, if you could tell us about your congregation and their needs and concerns at this time.
Yes, in addition to the concerns shared by my siblings earlier, we share those same concerns and sentiments. I would like to also offer that our congregation and many in the African American community are still very concerned about voter suppression and combating voting suppression and defending democracy. Black voters are acutely aware of threats to voting rights, which are projected to remain a priority, especially in the South, where fears of suppression are heightened, with growing concerns about partisan meddling in election administration and protecting access, ensuring legal voting, and countering purges. Those are definitely concerns that we have. In addition, public education is being attacked, and many in our community are concerned about the attack on public education with the stripping of funding and support for our public schools, and allocating public school dollars to private schools, which would advertently affect poor rural school districts across the Low Country. And so those are some of the concerns that we have.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Pastor Fedrick. Thank you. Let's move then now to our third question. What are the most important issues or concerns for you and your family? So more personal. For you and your family, what are the most pertinent concerns and issues? And let's call on Rabbi Bloom first.
Well, there's maybe 3 or 4 issues that I always think about that I think applies to everyone. One is healthcare. I'm concerned about, I want to make sure that Medicare will be here for me and my wife, or healthcare for my child and my son-in-law and three grandchildren, one of which was born last month. I'm concerned about healthcare. I am concerned about education because I want to see my grandchildren grow up in schools where they live that will be healthy places to grow and evolve into good citizens. And I think employment is an important issue for me, not for me personally, because I'm at the other end of the spectrum of my career, but in terms of seeing my children grow and fulfill their potential. Those are really important issues for me.
Mm-hmm.
And making sure that there is, again, probably all 4 of those issues: employment, education, healthcare, and retirement are I think, fundamental issues that in some way, shape, or form I encounter, I deal with personally, as well as my wife and my 3 grandchildren, my daughter, my son-in-law. So I think those are the kind of issues that I'm thinking about and I'm interacting with, in many different ways.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Rabbi Bloom. Let's turn now, Reverend Nate. If you could tell us what are those issues that mostly concern you and your family?
Well, I'm in my first year in Beaufort, so there are things I'm still learning. I'm interested in knowing what are all of the services that are available in the area and how to access them, both for ourselves and for the people that I work with. I want to know how to build relationships, especially relationships across lines of religion, across lines of many kinds, and so that we can really work together in the community. I want to know how to trust that if local law enforcement is called, that they aren't working as agents for ICE or the federal government. I want to know that as Pastor Wilson mentioned, that our voting is secure and that my vote counts when I vote. And I want to know that I can speak out and speak the truth and do so without fear of being targeted. I think it's a pretty basic thing just for myself, and that we are safe as a family and able to really engage truthfully with what's going on in the world and in our community.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Reverend Nate. Pastor Fedrick, if you could respond to that question, what is of most concern to you personally and your family?
My wife and I talked about it this morning. Economic justice, economic woes remain at the forefront. We just moved to Bluffton, and affordable housing is a concern, especially within our community. I would love for conversations and some action to take place and to engage around affordable housing. Really, the cost of living in general across the state and around the country, and even here in Beaufort County, cost of living for families. Also, health care, the need to protect Medicaid is essential, and education. Again, I cannot highlight education, supporting student aid, financial aid, our public school systems, all the programs related to giving children and families from low income brackets opportunities that persons in higher income brackets would would have as it relates to uh, leveling the playing ground for all students to be able to succeed in the public school uh, system. So equity in education is also key. Supporting Medicaid uh, and economic justice, affordable housing.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are important issues. Pastor June, if you could respond for now, what are the issues that most concern you and your family at this moment?
I don't know that I can add anything else. All of those things that everybody mentioned are, are on the top of my list too. Everything, healthcare, education, in all those things in Beaufort County are a concern for me.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you very much, Pastor June. And we'll turn to question number 4 for our candidates, especially for the Democratic Party. What, or even the Republican Party, for all those who are tuning in here. Let's start with Reverend Nate. What qualities would you like to see in our candidates and elected leaders? What qualities would you like to see?
I'm really looking for honesty and compassion and integrity and people who can be trusted. That I'm very much looking for that, and who genuinely care about all residents, especially those who are in danger or who are in need, not only those who have money or influence, and that are really working for our whole community.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let's turn now to Pastor Fedrick. What would you like to see in our candidates and elected leaders? What would you want them to know that you'd like them?
Authenticity is essential. Uh, I'm looking for a candidate who is real, a candidate who resonate with issues related to my community, a candidate who is well informed or is willing to learn about my concerns, my issues, someone that resonates and uh, who can come down to our level, who's able to articulate those kitchen table issues that we're all dealing with around our kitchen tables across Beaufort County, issues that we all struggle with, that we can all identify with, and provide leadership and helping us to bring our communities and our county together. There's so much partisanship and division and strife. I'm really looking for a candidate who can rise above partisanship and who can bring people together.
Okay, thank you very much. Bring people together. Pastor June, could you answer that question for yourself? What qualities would you like to see in candidates?
Yes, I would like to see compassion as well. Compassion for all different kinds of people. That would be a priority for me. And yet at the same time, I know that doesn't always win elections, but truly that's who I would like to see, in any kind of office at any level.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Rabbi Bloom, what would be your answer?
Well, I like to feel that there's somebody out there who can talk to Democrats and Republicans and independents, and who can earn the respect of listening as well as talking.
Mhm.
I like to see that someone who really has an understanding of the cultures of this diverse region as it's become. All the other qualities that have been articulated by everyone who can, one would expect those qualities and hope for those qualities. But I think there has to be, as someone said, talking about the partisanship, you have to be able to win, have a chance to win. And part of that winning is in this community, this region, is to be able to, I don't know if it's the right word, but to attract other voters who are not happy with the current party that they're in and who are willing to come over to this person and because their party, it's not just the person, it's the party. So they have to be able to feel like that they're not selling out if they're going to cross party lines, that this person will be a moderate and will be able to listen and be respectful of diverse viewpoints, even if they don't necessarily agree.
Mhm.
So that's going to be a really important characteristic besides charisma that they're going to have to evidence to me for them, particularly if you're speaking from a Democratic perspective, have any chance of winning an election countywide, let alone congressional election between Charleston and here.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, thank you very much, panelists. Our last question. And the question is, what is your number one hope for the future of Beaufort County? And I'd like to start by calling on Pastor Frederick to respond to with your hope for Beaufort County.
My hope for Beaufort County is for our community to become a more just, equitable community place for all people, and all caps on all.
For all people. Okay, thank you very much. Pastor June,
I had something, but I really like Pastor Frederick's.
Ditto.
I think to make a just community, I am very concerned with Pastor Nate about the sheriff and 287G that could happen.
Mhm.
So I would love to see that not be a part of Beaufort County. When I see Beaufort County, that's what I'm thinking of right now. And I would love for everybody to feel like they are included in Beaufort County and not just retirees, wealthy retirees. So
Yeah. Yes. We're a more colorful lot than that. We come from many different places and
exactly.
yes. All right, thank you. Thank you. Rabbi Bloom, what is your number one hope for the future of Beaufort County?
My number one hope, particularly in the context of this discussion, is I would like to see a county-wide conference that has longevity to it between clergy in this area. This is, to me, one of the weakest things, but has the most potential to make a difference. We have always struggled in our part of the county, at least in Hilton Head. And I can't say about Bluffton as much, but I would love to be able to see clergy learning, caring, talking, even if we have completely different opinions, because how best do we model what we think are the values that we've been talking about if we can't practice them amongst ourselves? Because we're not going to agree on all things. But I think that if we can have a hope I have is I'd love to see more clergy getting to know each other, talking to each other, and when possible, identifying issues that we can agree on, and speaking out to those issues without appearing in so much a partisan way, but a humanistic way. We really need to do that, in my opinion, to make a difference for Beaufort County. We could make a difference.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. I think of Mother Teresa's line, together we can do something beautiful. It's beautiful. And I think we all might have different ideas of what beautiful is, but I think we've started to share our ideas of what a beautiful county this would be, one of justice, one of peace, one that takes care of people, deals compassionately with their concerns and hopes. Have I forgotten anyone? Everyone? One, all right. Pastor Nate, Reverend Nate, if you could let us know your hopes.
Well, I mean, actually, a lot of it's been said by my colleagues, but my hope would be that the community could come together to address and respond to the shared needs of the whole county and everyone who lives here. All the needs from economic needs, education, healthcare, to the broader, concerns around things like the effects of climate change and the safety of all residents, including immigrants. We need to really include the concerns of everybody who is here together, and I support the idea of clergy connecting as well. So I hope all of those things that they said and more.
Well, thank you very much. I hear a lot of, it's time for us to come together. There's power in our ideas, and our thoughts, and our hopes, and our abilities, and the resources of our communities. Thank you so much for all of your good reflection and good sharing. And I wish you all well with your communities, and as you gather people together to do the work of transforming Beaufort County, transforming the world, transforming people's faith lives. Thank you so much. Kathleen, are you ready to wrap us up at all?
I certainly am. I'm honored to wrap up this session. Your thoughts that you've shared with us this evening, panelists, are quite meaningful, and I think really bring to the forefront our commonalities. We're on our third listening session now, and I'm going a little bit off script here, but we're on our third listening session, and really what is really standing out to me is our commonalities. Each community has different goals, different missions, different fears and hopes, but our commonalities unite us. We need healthcare. We need parental and daycare, family care, caregiving, support for our caregivers, and we need education. Those three issues have bound us across these listening sessions, and I find that to be sort of inspiring in a way. We have a lot of work to do, but we're going to do this work together as human beings, not just a one side of the aisle or the other. We all have the same concerns. So with that, I just want to add that we have a few more listening sessions coming up. We have our Black and Gullah voters next week. We have business leaders, veteran voters, and young voters ahead for the end of the summer and into early September. We aren't here to separate our voters into containers, but more interesting to hear our leaders from each community, and again, to see what it is that unites us. So thank you for being here with us tonight. We appreciate all of you so much. We know you're busy. Thank you so much for leading all of us into a brighter future.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
lovely evening, everybody.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Have a great evening.